What's happening, YouTube? It is the Joker back again. Now, I know it for most of the time I come on and off in terms of YouTube and Twitch, but this is something that mainly because I've been working on this Cyber Dragon Therion. Now, Cyber Dragon Therion is something I've been working with over the past couple of weeks, leading up to the release of Therion in a week, maybe 2 weeks' time. Cyber Dragon is basically a deck I am known for playing. My locals, basically, near enough, 9 times out of 10. Oh, what are you playing? Oh, you should know by now, it's Cyber Dragons. It's the point where I basically only play Cyber Dragons and only go off of it depending on the format. Cyber Dragons is very versatile. It is very open to engine changes and stuff like that. And yeah, overall, it's one of my favourite decks to play. Very fun, very quick, and in most cases, all I need to do, depending on the deck, is just go special summon Cyber Dragon, reach for handshake. And yeah, carrying on with the list. Starting off, we have 1 Jizukuru, the Star Destroying Kaiju. This is basically a way to get rid of something that's problematic. You only play it at 1 because you can search it with Plant. It's a light machine. You can just go, oh, you have a like a Winder or something that's problematic on your board. Okay, Plant, suck Jizukuru, get rid of it. It's easy as that. I would not play Jizukuru on more than 1. It is a brick any other ratio. 1 is perfectly fine. You can search it. It's even a light machine that you can dump with Rampage if you don't even need the Jizukuru. It's just an extra light in deck. Moving on, we got 2 of the Therion King Regulus. This is fine at 2. I want to draw it, but at the same time I can easily search it with the Colosseum Sorcerer, their field spell. So, Therion King Regulus, basically, you can target a Therion or a machine in your graveyard, special summon this card, then equip the target to this card. Then it acts as a negate. So, if you have a core in grave, you attach the Hurts, send this to grave to negate something. Hurts effect, add back the core. Because as long as Hurts is sent to the graveyard, you can just let any Cyber Dragon from either deck or grave to hand. If it's from deck, then it has to be the original. But if it's from graveyard, it can be Core, Nashta, Cyber Dragon, a different copy of itself, because it doesn't say accept this card, it says an other Cyber Dragon. You can even put your Sega back into deck, but you can't put Nova or Infinity because their names don't change, and they're not specifically counted as a base Cyber Dragon. I've tried it, doesn't work. So 2 of these acts as an extender, acts as an extra negate. If you don't have the route to get to Infinity, it stops near enough everything. Just send it to the graveyard, activate Hurts, add something back to your hand, so on and so forth. Triple copies of Cyber Dragon. Moving on. Basically, you want to play 3 of this. So you can draw it. You can machine dupe, target your Nashta, Hurts, or Core. It's very versatile. It's a free summon. It's a free fusion, depending on the deck and the matchup. And yeah, it's one of the best starters in the deck, I'd say, because you can also discard it for Horizon with also Chimera or Claw to get something else you may be missing, preferably either Core or Nashta. But if you open Horizon plus a Hurts or Horizon plus a way to get to Chimera, it is basically game. You have near enough an instant way to get to Nashta plus a discard thanks to Hurts. And yeah, basically the choke point with that combo is the Horizon, because if you can't get to the Nashta, then you can't do shit. Next, we have double copies of Galaxy Soldier. Some people play this at 2. Some people play this at 2. Some people play it at 3. I play it at 2. To the sheer point, its search is only a once per turn, but its summon isn't. So if you draw 2, you search for the third one. The third one is basically a brick if you don't have an extra light. 2 is optimal, because just like with Jizukuru, you could search it out with Repair Plan. You can even draw it because you're playing 2 of it. Because Soldier and Hurts is easy Infinity, I think it's like 4th, 5th summon, so your opponent can't nib from then on. Then next we have the Chimera. Only play 1 Chimera. It's a brick until you can either give an additional normal summon with Realm or have it or bring it back off of Nashta thanks to having 2100 defense, which Nashta can bring out because it has the target a monster with 2100 attack or defense. So Chimera fits the bill. Easy reborn, searches out Power Bond, which helps break games. Can use monsters in your graveyard as fusion materials for Power Bond. 9 times out of 10, you're either going for Rampage or Twin. There it is, which is your optimal summons off of Power Bond. Mainly want to go for Rampage because Rampage can attack up to 3 times, as well as the case of it pops spells and traps on the field equal to number of fusion materials. So if your opponent maybe has 3 or 4 back rows, just banish 3 or 4 materials. There you go, 4200 Rampage, start swinging. And then next we have an electromagnetic turtle. I get memed on a lot for playing this, but I play it surely for the fact that it gives me an extra turn. It gives me an extra turn to, if I don't open optimally, I just find a way to get turtle in the graveyard. It banishes itself to end the battle phase, and I've had this ruled that if you declare an attack with an Xyz monster, you go turtle, end the battle phase, they can't then make Zeus, so it gives you an extra layer of saying, oi, you can't do that, gives me an extra turn. Next we have the One of Claw. It's an extra discard for Horizon. You can chain block it with Chimera. When you go Effector Hurts, chain Chimera, you still get your discard for the Nashta. Also, it searches out your Horizon or your Realm. I was playing this at 2 in my current build, but with Therions, I see this better at 1 because you want to mainly focus on getting your cores, your emergencies, your machine dupes, that sort of stuff to warrant the having of Claw at 1. You can have this at 2 or 3. It searches out an extender. It searches out a starter. It searches out near enough anything you may be missing, or at least a way to get to anything you're missing. Next, we have triple copies of Ash. You can change this for anything. In most cases, Ash can stop combos. It helps. It's in my opinion, it's one of the more versatile hand traps in the format. Over like Droll, Bell, that sort of stuff. Ash is more versatile because a lot of decks this format do a lot of searching. So Ash is very good this format in my opinion. Some people may say, "Oh, you're wrong. It just works for me." I like Ash over anything else because it's easier to get hold of. It has the most printings. It's one of the more in my opinion, from what I've seen, Ash is one of the more cheaper hand traps than most of the other ones in the format. From what I've seen, if it's different, if it's different for you, so be it. But it's just from what I've seen. Next, of course, it can't be a Cyber Dragon deck without triple copies of Cyber Dragon Core. This searches out your emergency, your rev system, your plant, your cyber load, your realm, your horizon. That searches out near enough everything you may be missing in the deck. It's an easy way for your opponent to Ash, and then you just go machine dupe target core, because 9 times out of 10, if you open core and machine dupe, your opponent may Ash core, but then you just go machine dupe target core, get an infinity 5th summon, because I've counted, and machine dupe plus core equals infinity 5th summon. And then if you have enough to extend, you can easily just go Nashta plus core, make a 42 Rampage, then go into Seeger, start swinging. It's easy as that. Core, machine dupe, infinity 5th summon. In most cases, you will get nibbed if you can't make a way to get to Regulus or Infinity. But other than that, most times you can easily play through it, because do it right, you'll get nibbed on Nova, and then Nova will bring out your Rampage, and at least then you'll still be able to get some damage in, or maybe even be able to extend through it and get a Seeger as well. And then moving on, we've got the 1 Nashta. Some people play this at more than 1. I've seen people play it at 3. It's a definite one-off. You don't really need to see it as often, but on the times you do, you can easily discard it for Soldier, bring it back with Nova. You'll want to search it off of Horizon or Emergency if you've already got the Hertz in graveyard, or in most cases you just add it off the Emergency, as I said, once you've got in your core. Then we've got the 2 Hertz. I play this at 2 because you mainly want to be discarding it or sending it to the graveyard from your deck, or even from Regulus. So No, Hertz I don't really see as more than 2, though you can play it at 3, you can play it at 1, whatever, but you can easily just Hertz be discarded for Soldier, chaining 1 Soldier, chaining 2 Hertz, easy Infinity, easy Nova, easy game. Next we got the one of Overload Fusion. I was playing Proto Panverti Anaconda in this build, but with the Horizon it locks you into machines. So with Anaconda being a plant, you can't really go Anaconda, so I've just decided, yeah, I'm going to cut it and just have the Overload Fusion as an extender if I draw into it, or even as a way to like get board presence. Because if I have nothing on board, I top deck an Overload Fusion. Oh, I can easily just go make a Rampage, mill 2, get something to extend, and carry on, so forth. Rev System is just another extender. It can switch summon a Cyber Dragon from Hand or Grave, plus it gives it protection from like DPE and stuff like that. And if you don't need it, it's an easy discard for Chimera to search out Power Bond, which I was just about to get to. It gives you a 56 Twin or a 42 Rampage. So, and also with Chimera, once you've searched the Power Bond, which is something I honestly kept thinking, oh, I can just use monsters in my graveyard and then you go to fusion summon with Power Bond. But instead you have to search the Power Bond in order to then fuse. So, which is something I kept getting mixed up. It's something I probably will keep getting mixed up. But I'm just saying for this, it's just how it works. Next, we got triple copies of Emergency. It's basically giving you, doubling up your cores, giving you 5 Hertz, 4 Nashters, 6 Cyber Dragons, just anything that may be able to start a combo or anything like that. Plus, if it's negated, you can discard a card, add it back to hand, and maybe activate it again if its activation is negated, or have it as a discard for Chimera, or as a starter for next turn. As I said, the one of Horizon, granted, it's a searcher. It helps set up your graveyard. It even puts your Eternity Dragon in your graveyard, which you want to have in your graveyard, not on field. So, and which is the reason why it locks me into machines and why I cut Anaconda. At the same time, though, you may be thinking, oh, if it locks you into machines, why are you playing Almirage and Anima? They're not machines, they're Cyberburst and the Spellcaster. Simple reason is, if I open core with nothing else, but without even the Horizon, I just go to core, add plan, make Armirage, get a search. It's just a way so that if I don't open something that locks me into machines, I can easily just go Armirage, get plan, and carry on. Or if I go core effect, special summon a Hertz from graveyard or a Nashta from graveyard, I can just then go into Anima, suck something up that it may point to, and then Hertz add something back from my graveyard, add something back from my deck, and helps me carry on. Though I've been debating on changing Anima for Linkaribo, not because of the effect, mainly because it has a down arrow. So if I need to link off the Hertz to get a search, I can then still go into Sega, Almirage, or anything like that I may need. Next, of course, triple copies of Machine Duplication. It's one of the best ways to punish your opponent if they pre-ash. It's a soft once per turn, so even if they do ash it, if you have another copy, you just go Machine Dupe again, because it just wasted an ash. Though, if your core, Nashta, or Hertz, if their effects are negated by an Imperm or a Veiler, their names do change back to Cyber Dragon Core, Cyber Dragon Hertz, so Machine Dupe will only be able to bring out monsters of that original name, which sadly isn't the main Cyber Dragons themselves, which is a big sad. Next we have the one of Terraforming to basically give us 3 Therion's Ring. I would be playing this at 3, but at the same time 2 is plenty. I don't want to open too many so that they become bricks. At the same time, you can just discard it with Chimera, but at the same time I want them on the field for Regulus, because if Regulus is in the graveyard, once per turn, I can just add Regulus back to my hand if something is destroyed. And then, or I can just dump Regulus to give myself a bit of protection, then add it back later on when I need it. Then, so that's basically the one of Terraforming. The next we got the plant. Some people because before we got Almirage, people will be playing this at 3 because they want to see it. Because core, you don't. Because core plus plant is basically infinity if you don't have the machine dupe. Because just go core, add emergency, get hurts, or core, add plant, get soldier, or any other like machine you may be missing. Before people go, oh, why if you just going back to the electromagnetic turtle? Before people go, oh, why are you playing turtle? Why if you open it in your hand? You can easily just then discard it for Nashta or emergency, then you can still get it in the graveyard. Simple as. The one of Caught by the Grave, because Ash hurts. As much as I've been saying, oh, Ash doesn't hurt this deck as much, there are pivotal points where Ash will hurt, and you will want to be playing the one of Caught by the Grave. I was testing it with Crossout, but Crossout means I'll have to play more bricks. But with the one of Call By, I can just go, they go Ash, I just go Call By, carry on. Next, we got the one of Cyberload Fusion. So if you go Power Bond or Overload, means you have to banish some of your machines. You can just go Cyberload, put them all back, maybe get another Rampage or a Twin if they're the original Cyber Dragon, or maybe even a Fortress as well. In most cases. Next, we got the Realm. It's a cyber spell trap. Easy searcher with core. It gets you your Chimera, it gets you your Claw. As long as you don't have already one with the same name in graveyard, you can add either one of them. Also, it gives you an additional normal summon of a Cyber Dark monster. So you can additional normal summon the Chimera, additional normal summon the Claw, or anything to help you get to your Sega and carry on. Next, of course, as I said, Therion's Ring searches out your Regulus, gives you a bit of protection, gives you your Regulus back to your hand later on. It's pretty simple while you're playing it. You want to see your Regulus at the same time. You don't even need this on board. If you draw the Regulus, you don't really necessarily have to see this. If you already draw the Regulus, so 2 and 2 of each is perfectly fine. Finally, we have triple copies of Infinite Impermanence. One of the best ways to stop anything maybe problematic on your opponent's side of the board. The Apo, Savage, Winder, anything that may be problematic that you don't have a way to stop straight away, just go Imp standby to stop it. So pretty simple. Moving on to the extra deck, we have the One of Eternity Dragon. It basically it almost makes your fusions to towers. However, it only stops them from being targeted or destroyed by card effects. So they can still be nibbed, they can still be banished with evenly, so on and so forth. It's just an extra bit of protection so that your opponent can't go, Imperm or Veiler your Rampage. And my friend thought this was I had to currently control them, but no, it's a blanket effect so that if I control a machine after it's been sent, after it's been banished, it will still then get the protection. Next, we have got 2 copies of Chimera Tech Mega Fleet Dragon. It's basically a way that if you special summon Cyber Dragon, it can get rid of their Apo, you can get rid of their access code, anything that may warrant a problem. Next, we got the one of Invoked Mechaba. But before we go, you're not playing, I don't see any invoked cards, I don't see Alistair, I don't see Invocation. Simple, really. Nova. If Nova is sent to the graveyard by opponent's card effect by any means, Nib, Dogmatic of Maximus, anything like that, you get a free fusion. And 9 times out of 10, I will be choosing Mechaba if I am going second or going first or need a bit of an extra interruption. Because with Dogmatica running rampant with Branded, Invoked, that sort of stuff at the minute, I feel like having Novas having a Nova to send is worth the warrant. Because you get a Mechaba, you get a bit of interruption, an extra negate to go against your opponent. Next, we got the Cyber Twin Dragon. It's just a extra target to summon a Power Bond, or just maybe even Cyberload. It's a way to help enable OTKs. It's just swing twice, get a bit of extra damage in. And yeah, moving forward, we have the Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon, which basically is that if you Kaiju a Winder or something like that, you can easily just get rid of the Kaiju, make the Fortress Or if you're going up against another machine deck, you also go special summon, contact, fuse their entire board away, give yourself maybe a 5 or 6 material Juzukuru. Next, you've got the Rampage Dragon, the main beaters of this strategy. So you want to summon this off of the Power Bond or the Overload Fusion. Pops as many spells and traps on the board as to equal the number of spells and fusion materials. Sorry, give yourself up to 3 attacks in the turn by sending any number of up to 2 light machines. Ideally, it wants to be a turtle and a Hertz if you haven't used the effect already. Gives you a bit of extra recursion, gives you a bit of follow up for next turn. Then we got now moving on, we have a 1 copy of Elder Entity Entis. Now you may be wondering, you're not playing Synchros, you may be playing an NEXCs, why are you playing it? It goes back to Dogmatic and Maximus, because if I find it here, each player has to send 2 extra deck monsters from the extra deck to the graveyard. So if I send Nova, send Entis, gives me a negate, gives me a pop. That's ideally why I'm playing the Maximus, or playing the Entis purely for the Maximus. Next we got the Infinity, a bit of negate. It helps you clear up the board by attaching something that's an attack to it as an Xyz material. Pretty self-explanatory. And negate, free summon. It gives it a suck as well to help clear the board. Then Nova, as an extender. It's a generic level 5 light machine. Just needs 2 machine monsters like soldiers, Cyber Dragons, it hurts maybe if you change this level to 5, so on and so forth. And also, as I've said, it helps you bring out your Mecha Bar, maybe even your Eternity Dragon, does as a 4K ass, or your Rampage, or any machine fusion that you may want on your board at that current time. Then we've got Seeger, very self-explanatory. It makes your Rampage Dragon 63 if you summon it off a Power Bond. It makes your twin 77 rather if you bring off a Power Bond, so on and so forth. Very self-explanatory. And like with the small Cyber Dragons, he changes its name to Cyber Dragon, so you can put it back in your extra deck with Hertz. You can put it back with the extra in your It counts as a Cyber Dragon name for Plant. You can even put it back with Plant. You can even put it back with Cyberload, or even bring it back off Rev System. Next, then, as I've said before, we've got the Armorage and the Anima. They act as ways to make your repair plant live. If you're not locked into machines, if you are, then they're just like Maximus sends, or just ways, or just like extenders, for example. And then your side deck is basically whatever you want, but for the most part, I've put the Overflow from my main deck into my side deck. Granted, it can act as an extender if you destroy it off of Rampage, but at the same time, it's more of a going first card. So if I'm going first with this deck, I can easily maybe swap out a Hertz, or swap out the Turtle, or swap out anything that may hinder. That's more of a going second strategy for my going firsts. So yeah, that's basically Cyber Therions. If you want to see a combo with combo walkthrough with this deck, let me know. Show me some support with this. It's something I've been working on for maybe a week, the past couple of weeks, ready for when Therions are released. If you ever want to see me play this at my locals, let me know. Drop me a comment or something like that. Let me know what I want to see next. And near enough after this video goes live, it may be a half hour after it goes live, maybe an hour after it goes live, once I've got myself sorted, I will be streaming. I will be going live on Twitch, ready to play the new Matador update, which I wasn't able to do yesterday because I was busy. So yeah, let me know what you want me to do next, and I shall see you either live on Twitch or on my next video. And with that being said, this is the Joker's Hand been dealt, and I will see you all in the next hand.